Very minor update today. So a few GameMaker betas ago, Yo-Yo Games just dropped in this little feature where you are now allowed to define color codes with CSS color codes, an RGB format. You don't any longer have to worry about the byte order. And this actually came out about, I think, last week, but I didn't cover it then because it was a little bit buggy. But it's working now. And let me demonstrate this real quick. So, test project. I've got a couple grayscale ducklings, and we are going to be recoloring these using code. Okay. Ordinarily, if you wanted to tint one of these things like, let's say red, and if you had tried to type in $FF0000, or maybe if you like hexadecimal just a little bit too much, you could say 0x FF0000. I'm gonna go with the dollar sign, just for this one example. And if you were to do this, you would see that instead of tinting the tinting the duckling red, it would tint it blue instead. And that's just because of the way the byte order works in GameMaker, the way that color values are stored. Instead of red, green, blue being the byte order, since red is stored in the first byte, green in the second byte, and blue in the third byte, in terms of like place values, you would actually need to switch this around. So you would need to do something like BBGGRR, and the color code for that would look like 0000FF, and that would give you the red duckling. But with the introduction of the CSS color code literal, you can now instead say $FF0000, and that will automatically reverse the byte order for you, so that you don't have to. As you can see, this translates the color code into red instead of the other way around. If you were to go look up a list of HTML color codes, and if you were to just copy and paste one of these into GameMaker, let's find a nice one. I saw like the chart. Okay, yeah. Let's find a nice color. This one is kind of nice. 3399FF. If you were to just copy and paste this into GameMaker previously, you would see that it was not exactly the color that we wanted. Instead of being a nice blue, it's going to be a little bit of an ominous looking yellow orange. But with the hexadecimal, with the pound sign in use for the color codes, we now have the color as it was displayed on like any given HTML color picker on the internet, or even like the Photoshop color picker. If you have something like an image editing tool and you want to just grab a color code from that. So the one in the middle is going to be the incorrect color order. The incorrect byte order, the one on the right, is going to be the correct one. So, all right, kind of a nice greenish blue. Let's see, what else is there? Will this work if I try to do something like show debug message real followed by this value? Actually, let me go with a value that I know what it's going to be off the top of my head. So if I were to use pound sign in the real function, okay, you do not like a... This is one that I did not check before I sat down to do this. I just thought of it now. It seems that this will still not work. Okay. That might be a useful addition to have the real function convert a string that starts with a pound sign to the correct number, so that any user trying to convert like a string to a color code doesn't have to reverse the byte order themselves. Anyway, that's going to do it for me for today. This is going to be a rather short video, hopefully. In terms of GameMaker beta updates, there is a particular one of interest that was added approximately today morning, and that is added support for video playback. But at the current moment, it's very early on. Also, it doesn't seem to work on Windows yet, so I'm gonna hold off on making a video on that until at least that happens. Anyway, I think some of you may enjoy this change. Having to reverse the byte order of color codes myself isn't really something that really bothers me, but It is occasionally something that someone on the forums or Discord or on the subreddit will ask about. So, starting with GameMaker 2022.2, that should no longer be a thing to worry about. I love the new versioning system for GameMaker because now when I cover one of these beta features, I can just say the name of the next major update with the year and the month without having to think in my brain about like an arbitrary 2.3.5 or 2.3.7 or anything like that. Anyway, I hope you all found this useful, and I will see you all later. Special thanks to Army Armbuster, Edward Holt, Emily Koyo, GameMaker, Gunnar Clovis, Posho, Sindra Larson, Squarecrow, The Nothing Happened, Tusk, and Zenjamin for supporting these videos. If you want to see your name in the credits or hear yourself shouted out at the end, head on over to the Patreon page down in the video description to join the fun.